You hear about our 2-hour bus ride from Fenway Park to the airport yesterday?
Traffic.
We hit cars that weren't moving. Is that considered traffic? Doesn't traffic have to be moving? It's unbelievable.
Not in Boston.
How does that work? Where's everybody going?
It was still like 7 o'clock. When I left 7 o'clock, there was still
50 minutes, and we were in front of our hotel. What'd you say? I'd like to have been on that second bus and heard what was being said back there. No, I wouldn't have. What's up? Sorry.
Zipchenski, 3 pitches, 3 hits. Is there a book on him about being that aggressive, or is it just that approach?
I wish we were. It's not that simple and that smart. Just Chris kind of muscled the ball out there. Jimmy jumped on the first thing hard out over the plate, and Jimmy was pretty impressive tonight again. He's kind of picked back up. What is he, like 6th or 7th in the league in hitting again? But no, Chris kind of muscled the ball out there, and I thought Parm fought off the ball. Big at bat by Chris Parmalee there, going first and third with Jimmy moving. Good hold by Bobby. Not getting caught up in the motion. That's what challenged the coach in third base. It's a good stop there, regardless of what happened afterwards.
Look, how nice was it to see that coming back and getting that run in the 8th inning after you guys kind of break through against Kluber and get that lead, and then it's tied again and with one swing.
Yeah, that's a there's a lot of momentum swings in those games. A couple of quick home runs, and JJ's been swinging the bat pretty good for a while, and you don't ever feel like you break through Kluber. You got to have a real good pitching outing, which we got from way in. He was strong tonight and threw the ball well, and you never feel like you solve Kluber. I mean, here's one of the keys. When you got a number one starter like that, and he has the inning where he gives up, and they go back out there and pitch another efficient inning at that pitch count, you got something special there. That's impressive. We were talking about it in the dugout.
You talk about Paredes. He had such a great streak to start the season, and then cooled off. What's he been doing to get back to where he was earlier?
Jimmy's slashing and Jimmy's getting after it every day. He never has an off day of engaged and being ready. He's not going to let this opportunity get away from him. And his intensity level every at bat is the same. And when he goes through periods where he's kind of, he gets selective, he's a hard guy to pitch to when you think about it. You don't sit there in one spot with one speed on him. And, people know about him, and he's still doing it. That's what's impressive.
One of these averages up to 260. They even intentionally walked him there. Is there anything different with him? You're seeing at the plate approach or anything?
Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about it. Scott and him, they've done some things. Won't get into because, you don't see Scott out there having seminars on what he's doing with different guys. He knows how hard it is. That's why we like him so much. You see the work that Ryan puts in. He's had an approach since probably the last, 10 days of spring training that he stayed with, and it's been productive.
Look, you guys trailed in the 2nd inning, you trailed in the 6th, that home run in the 8th, and then it was a 10 strikeout performance by the starter, but you still win. Does that say something about the resilience?
Well, it's like I said before, you got to have a well-pitched game to compete against Kluber. He's that good. I mean, this guy, and you knew there was not going to be much margin of error. And way in, I thought finishing off the 6th inning was good for him and for our club. And Darren's been great, and will be. I thought he was good tonight. There's another example of he gives up the home run and comes right back and gets people out to get us in the dugout. Tell you what, Zach's been, I don't know, I know I don't, but sometimes his performance, gets taken for granted, and that's a real trap if you do. It's really hard to do what Zach's doing.
On another subject, the move with McFarland leaves you for now with a 6-man bullpen.
What about? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Leaves you.
Yes, it does.
And is this something where you're just looking at it day by day? And
well, obviously, I'm not going to be smart aleck. We have to look at everything day by day, especially the position we're in, and nobody wanted to send Mac out, and I think some of the way it will all shake out probably is not apparent today, but we've got I think the biggest tomorrow with Adam. if Adam comes in tomorrow and is sore again from the throwing he did today, then we got a pretty good idea what direction that's going. If he comes in, he's healthy. So, you know, if you deal somebody, you get somebody right back. So there's a lot of different, you know, we've tried to think it through as much as possible. It's not comfortable having a conversation with TJ because he's done, heck, he's been key in 3 or 4 games for us this year already, a difference maker, and he'll be back. And we will be at 7 pitchers at some point, at least. Hopefully soon. Okay.